Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone is well. Let's have a look. So, Karina, good morning to you. So, happy Independence Day, absolutely. So far, market does shut half day today, but there's been about a normal amount of price action. It's been quite quiet. So if I look at yesterday, by 2:30 was here. So we've had more or less the same price action. So we may go okay. We've clearly made new highs today, and we're up there again. We're continuing to push up. So we'll see how we get on today. Anyway, we'll just play it by ear today. If it dies off and goes quiet, but market does close, I believe, around about 1 o'clock Eastern time, which is 6 o'clock UK time. I'm usually done and dusted by then anyway. So we'll see how we get on today. John, good morning to you, my friend. So, is this a channel up? It could be. Doesn't look terrible. Or there could be something like that. So let me just have a look. Not sure about that. Let's just go with a smaller one for now. So I've been a busy boy today, cleaning all the bathroom today. Did a bunch of hoovering, did some washing. I haven't stopped today. I've been a proper little housewife. So, Scruff, how you doing, buddy? Silly question, but I've had to start my chart from scratch, and I can't remember how to move the chart with the right button on the mouse. Any ideas? That there, right button. I can do it with either button, to be fair, mate. That's the right button. That's the left button. I'm not sure, bud, to be honest with you. The trouble is when it's not something you do, you just kind of assume everything works. Anybody got any ideas? But either that's my left button, that's my right button. You got it. Is it working? Is it? Everything working? Excellent. Good on you, mate. So I've got a problem with Rhythmic. I can't open it for some reason. If I double click it, I don't think it's just disappeared. It just doesn't open. Let me try it again. If I double click it, if I bring it into here, you can see it. Watch, it'll just disappears. Let me try it one more time. I've tried it a bunch of times. I've tried opening, shutting. Let me just drag it into place. Whatever I click, it just disappears. Gone again. Let me try it one more time. I don't know whether it's Rhythmic or what. So it doesn't even give me a chance to hit login. Just disappears. So I've got no idea why it's doing that at all. Now, obviously, I can still trade. All my accounts are up there. There's no issues there. I did take one trade earlier. That trade there, that bar there, just on one account, and it came down nicely. We tried kind of 3 times to get up there, and then the thing just dropped. You see it bouncing off highs here. So, but I can't open it for some reason, so I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on that. I don't know why. Reinstall NinjaTrader 8. Is that really going to make a difference with Rhythmic? I don't know. Hey Neil, how you doing, buddy? So I don't know. I did put a post out to see if anybody had any issues with it, but I don't know. I've also lost my Mac tools. They should still be there, bud. They probably, if I select here. They might not be showing here, but if they're installed on your computer, they should still be there. Mac tools, I think it's Pat's toolbar there. Yeah, it should still be there. If you look under P, it should still be there. Just sometimes if you open a new chart, it'll disappear from here. Just re-add them, and that should be okay. I can't now. I've lost everything. That's strange. That is. Have a play around with it, see how you get on. So it's hard to know what's going on here. I think this is probably a spike and a channel. So I'm just going to do that, I think. So all-time highs was here. We finished here. We had a push up and we were just under it by about 6 or 7 points, and it pushed up, hit it, pulled back, and it's continued again. So what I'd like to do, there may be 2 legs up here, but what I'd like to do is have a couple of legs down from a break and then retest it. That was the original, well, all-time highs was around about here, but that was the first push, so I'd like to have a couple of legs back and a move up. You're not talking about me, Karina, are you? Deleted Ninja Trader 8, no? No, you must be talking about Scruff. Yeah, for some reason I can't open Rhythmic. I don't know if no idea why it's doing that. Exponential, how you doing, mate? Not you, no, okay. I don't know why Rhythmic's not open. It's weird, isn't it? I might just have to reinstall it. I'll see if anybody has any issues later. And then I might just have to sort of kick it into touch and redo it. So nothing you can do here at the moment. We're clearly working up. So that does look like a spike and channel. There's that little spike, and I've just gone from the neck of that bar there, and we got a touch there. It seems to be working quite nice, so I'm looking for now we've broken comfortably above this, I'm looking for a couple of legs back. There may be something larger. It's a bit early to tell. Yeah, it's a bit early. I'd rather wait and see what other people have, but what I will suggest is we do that. See if we can get a second leg up there. It's looking like it. Let me just have a look at charts. Is Dan trading today, is he? Yeah, I think he is. Oh, maybe not. So there are 2 guys on Dan's forum with this, so I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is just kill the colour, so it's an area of interest rather than what I would consider a hard and fast channel. If we can get 2 legs down, retest this area, EMA starts to dip, we get that kind of cross section, and about somewhere off here will be okay. Whether is flying. It is, yeah. So now we've clearly, I mean, that was, I think it was around about here, previous all-time highs, and then we broke it, had a pullback, and we've continued up. So yeah, we may continue on up. I expected a bit of a pullback, but now we're above it. I'd certainly expect it. Well, it certainly could continue on. I think everything seems okay in the world at the moment, maybe. I've not heard much the last few days about the Middle East. Is this ceasefire held? Who knows? But maybe things are starting to settle a bit. We're getting into the summer months. People generally feel better in the summer. I know my wife suffers with this seasonal disorder. SAD, I think they call it. Something seasonal disorder. But you know what it's like when the sun's shining. Everyone's got a little bit more vitamin D. And I think generally people feel a little bit better. We're in the middle of the year. We're into the holiday season. People are taking a break. People are looking forward to going away. So I think there's generally a much better overall feeling. So markets, I think, seem to be reacting positive this morning. How's cryptocurrency doing? I haven't paid much attention to it. I know Bitcoin's been floating around the 100. Oh, okay, so we're at 110,000. I believe that is all-time highs as well. Let me have a look. Maybe not quite. Let's have a look. Very, very close. I think we're just under, but we're not far away. So cryptocurrency is okay. So Bitcoin's up a couple of % today. Ethereum's doing really well lately. That went down to Well, over the last, let me have a look, over the last 12 months, it's dropped by 20%. Now, obviously, we spent the last 12 months, but the last 90 days been going up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's been doing nothing really. But Ethereum's acted nice and positive. XRP is good. That's up nearly 5% a day. Solana, that's okay. It's holding its own. Doge's up 7%. ADA's up 7%. Sui's up. I had some Sui. I wish I'd have kept it now. I did make a little bit of money, not much. But Sui's doing really well. There is a crypto guy that I follow was talking about Sui 6 months ago. They were talking about Sui when it was well under $1, and it's at $3 now. So I don't know. As soon as we started to have those issues with tariffs, I just got out of mine. So everything's seeming positive anyway. Why does everyone have crowns all of a sudden? I mentioned that yesterday, mate. I'm assuming it's something to do with YouTube. I don't know, crown number 1, maybe that's for, I think probably Karina's been here one of the longest, and she comments quite a bit, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's how long you've been here or how much you comment. I don't know, I suppose maybe it's designed to make you feel a little bit more royal. I don't know. I noticed it yesterday. I'd never seen it before. So yeah, maybe something like that. Designed to make you feel good. I wouldn't let it go to your head. So I'm looking for a reaction here. I was expecting a bit of a breakout, which we've had. Now I'd like to see this come down a little bit more and get a reaction. If we get the right reaction, I may take a higher low. I don't like jumping in straight away. I know sometimes you have a little break and a new low and it works straight up, but I like to see 2 legs. Yeah, it must be I'm a queen. Probably quite a few queens out there nowadays. So this looks like it's pushing up, but I got to wait for a higher low here, really. So we are into unknown territory up here. We've not been up here before. So just goes to show, I mean, off the top of my head, what did the S&P drop? 18%? Maybe a little bit more when all the tariff stuff comes out. But from an investor's point of view, whether it's, you've got a long-term investment on the go or your pension or something like that, it just goes to show how quick markets recover. They initially take a drop. So one thing I've learned about investing is when you see prices dropping, never panic, especially something like the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is never going to collapse. I mean, it could drop significantly, but it's always going to recover. If you put your money into H-bar or Solana or something like that, it could potentially drop significantly. You never know. I remember there was some sort of bad news maybe a year and a half ago with Solana, and it dropped down to $8. But look at it now, it's on fire. So you never know. Bad news could potentially damage an individual stock or individual cryptocurrency. But when you're talking something along the lines of the S&P 500, it's just not going to happen. So unfortunately, some people panic when they see it dropping and they sell it and they get out of it. And usually when it's dropping, that's when the smarter people are starting to buy the stuff, which makes perfect sense. Price of something goes down, you tend to start to buy it, but a lot of people panic and sell it and then wait for it to start going back up, and often you get stung. Igor, how you doing, buddy? A Lance fanboy you may be, mate. That might be it. So it's not really much you can do here. You can't really buy that, I don't think. We have got a leg down. Sometimes it'll come down to the key entry point and just push up, but it's still a little bit earlier on in the day, isn't it? When we're into this unknown territory, you never quite know, and I think the safest option is to wait for at least a couple of legs or even a higher low, which we haven't really had. I'm well, mate. I'm okay, actually. I'm in a good place now. Flow instead is the key. So no trading tomorrow. The markets are open half a day. As they are today, you'd expect traders to still be around today. As the markets do shut half day, it's not technically a holiday today. Obviously, 4th of July is tomorrow, so I'm guessing we're going to have a reasonable amount of price action today, at least up until lunchtime-ish, obviously, for you US guys, and then things die off. But tomorrow, I just don't think it'd be worth it at all. So I'm going to spend the day. I'm going to dig out my fly rod tomorrow and see if I can't catch 1 or 2 trout. London and Madrid, US is closed. See, I'm pretty sure I had a message that's saying, let me have a look. I usually get something from the CME group. Let's have a look. Or have I deleted them? I may delete them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said they were open tomorrow till midday. I don't know. I won't be trading anyway. I mean, it's the 4th of July, isn't it? I consider myself as half American now. I spend a lot of my time with a lot of you US guys, and I have been now for 2.5 years. So your teacher says it's closed tomorrow. Yeah, I actually think it is open. Well, someone else has just popped that on there. Just looked 12:15 today, 12 tomorrow. So often it is open half day. But today I think there'll be a normal amount, or relatively normal amount. So far, so good. It looks like a fair amount of price. But tomorrow, even with the market open half day, I'm pretty sure I got an email from but it's obviously institutional traders won't really be trading tomorrow. Today, quite possibly. So it'll be a lot quieter tomorrow. I used to try trading some of these holidays. It's just not worth it. You may get something like this all day. It's just not worth it. But today's not looking too bad. Yeah. Leading up to it, when you get a half day, yeah, I'll have a look at that. But tomorrow I won't be. I'm going to be on the riverbank, probably catching nothing. So coming up to the measured move, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. So that was the previous all-time highs. Sorry, my mistake. They were down here somewhere. That was initial push-up. So I'm just going to we'll keep that up here somewhere, because obviously I'm going to be moving every 5 seconds otherwise. So I'm just going to keep it there. But we are into new territory now. Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad so far, considering the market's been open 20 minutes. We've had a reasonable amount of price action. So I don't know if anybody else is trading today. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, Alpine is. He's trading today. I don't think Nutty's. I think what Nutty's doing. He said he'd been off ill, but he put a video on out last night, and he ended up losing about another bunch of accounts. Or so he's been trading, but he got butchered again. I don't like to see anybody get crucified. I don't think Trader Joe's trading. I can't see nothing for him. But 4 hours ago, I don't think Bart is. Oh yeah, tell a lie is. Bart's trading. I think Panda's trading. Volatility trader. He's a nice guy. Volatility trader. He came on the stream once or twice. He's trading today. Matt's trading today. So yeah, I think there's a few traders. So measured move. He pushed up and nicked that. Oh, and had a quick rush. Wow, a real strong, quick move above it. That just shot up 6 points there, or maybe a bit more than that. That was a quick rush, and often you see that just for no real reason. 6.5 points, woof, straight up and then back down. He's off the weekend, is he? Yeah. He's not hardcore like the rest of us, is he? So measured move's been made. As long as price is moving, I'm happy to sit here. So yeah, a real quick strong push. No real reason for that. We're into new territory, so we got nothing to kind of bounce off really. And then all of a sudden, 6.5 points, wash straight up, and then pull back 2 points or 2.5 points. Just pick yourself up a new whiskey earlier. Jura, Caribbean, single malt, Caribbean cast single malt. So I thought I'd just have one before I traded, or while I'm trading. So no trades yesterday. Managed to sit here for about 4.5, 5 hours yesterday. Never took a trade, and to be honest with you, I'm more than happy with that. There wasn't a great deal around. Mac marked a few. Very easy to mark them after the fact. But there just wasn't a great deal around. I know Mac had it marked like that with the break there. I noticed Dan and I think Marco and a few others had it like that. I think they had it like that. Was it like that, or was it? I think it was like that they had it. That was one they took. Just wasn't a great signal bar for me. That's what it looked like on my bar. It looked better on Max, but they had it like that, chopping off that bit. I didn't like it. I had it like that. That being the small break, and that's how Mac had it as well. So the trouble is, it makes a trade like that long that little bit more risky if that's slightly wrong. But then we had this thing moving up, and credit to Taylor, he spotted that earlier on. He took, I think it was that bar there or something like that. was it that one? I can't remember. He took a trade here, which looked way risky to me, but I didn't have this at the time, but it worked nice. So that's the trouble. Sometimes these channels are kind of a work in progress, but that's where I had it. And but a bunch of others went like that. It just didn't look right to me. So it's just, the trouble is we all kind of view this chart ever so slightly different. You know, so this thing is just going and going. So the trouble is when we're right above original all-time highs, you expect a pullback. I tend to. But sometimes when you think this thing can't go up any higher, it just continues to go and go. I think original all-time highs leading up until yesterday, I think we're about 6 or 7 points up here. So they're round about there. So we're up 25 points above all-time highs, which is a fair move. So who knows? This thing may just decide to keep on chugging. Who knows? Friday market close. It's going to be just Euro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I won't be here anyway. I got better things to do. I got big fish to catch. I'm probably just going to get sunburnt, in all fairness, but I'll either go and sit on a nice lake a mile from my front door and catch a few carp. I can put my feet up then, or I might drive 10 miles to a trout lake and dig out the fly rod and do some posh fishing. I don't know. I'll see how I feel tomorrow. So this to me looks like it's ranging. We've bounced. That's why I took a trade there just on one of my accounts, because we're clearly struggling to get up, and it worked. But now we do seem to be coming down in this. Now, trouble is that is just a little micro up. It's not what I would consider two channels. Sometimes it doesn't matter. That kind of looks like a little 2 channels, but this just kind of looks like one really. So there's not really much I can do here. Let's just make this a bit bigger. Touch. Looks okay to me. And as I say, you can clearly see we're getting rejection off there, aren't and now it looks like, kind of looks like we're ranging. We've had that initial push up. We may get a bounce, a second bounce, and possibly higher. But my gut feeling now is this is likely to work down to these lows. So this looks like a break of this, so we'll just see what happens. Let's go to the pool tomorrow. I don't know what the weather's been like in the UK tomorrow. I know we have heard that the UK may end up getting 41 degrees this summer. That is hot wherever you are in the world. Weather in Shrewsbury. Yeah, it's not going to be that nice tomorrow. Today, beautiful. Not particularly hot, 20 degrees, but we got wall-to-wall sunshine tomorrow. Nice up until about midday, 22 degrees high. Not a bad day. But next week again, it heats up. Okay, let's just look at this. So the trouble is, we had the same there and it just took off. Trouble is, you can't enter there. Now, if you're a pullback trader and you just buy as soon as this thing touches the EMA, it's not a bad strategy. As soon as that touched the EMA there, if you bought there, it worked beautifully. But I don't do things that way. So, in fact, if I move that a little bit further, touch, that's working relatively nice along that midline. Trouble is, sometimes it just pushes up. The trouble is, what I've found is when I decide to get in there and have a go, it decides to have a break. So I don't do it anymore. I've just given up that. You go through all different scenarios when you're learning to trade, from absolutely ridiculous trades to you try all sorts of things. It's just kind of like a coming of age thing. There's no kind of easy way around it. I think most of us do it. There are probably some super disciplined people out there who probably don't so much. But look at that. As soon as we get down to the channel here, look at that, straight up. There's no setup there. There's nothing. It's not a bad strategy when it gets the image, just buy. If you'd have done it there, it worked. There it worked. There it worked. It's just frustrating when you see it come back and take off. We don't seem to get very few what I would consider really solid setups anymore. It's as if those setups are that obvious now. The institutional traders muck it up for us. Is that true? Who knows? Who knows? So Thomas Wade's got that same chart as me. A few others have as well. So that seems to be the general consensus, that it's working up there. It looks okay. It is unfortunate we get back in, it just takes off. It did the same here. No entry, unfortunately. Yeah, so there's a higher low there, but one, it's not the key entry point. You two, we don't really know we've established a channel up there. This thing could just be ranging, so there's nothing there really. Okay, so look at this CL chart at the moment. We've got a channel with a break and a new high. If this thing comes bearish, I'll wait for a lower high. I won't take this. Just not super stoked about it. I don't like the okay. I'm going to say I don't like the fact that we got a bearish, kind of a bearish bar. Well, it's not actually. It's a doji, but it did trigger. So I would prefer to have that stopped out. So we have had a leg with a break. If this comes bearish, depending on how low it goes, might not be a bad option. Kind of a leg and a leg. But I would prefer the lower high just in case. The lower high is much more of a certainty that this is coming down rather than just a bearish bar there. But there is a bullish bar there and a higher low. Or 1, 2 possible triple test. Lambo crash was on the news today. Just married. In fact, I think, wasn't there a couple that had just got married that was on that Brazilian, was it the Brazilian, the air balloon that caught fire? I think it was a newly married couple that was on there as well. Oh, that's shocking, isn't it? See if we can get a triple test here on this this CL chart. It does look like we've had a bounce here, bounce at the bottom, bounce at the top. We made a few attempts. This does look like it's coming down. So if we can get a triple test here, I wouldn't mind having a go at that. I'd expect then another leg down. If we can get a triple test there, that would kind of leg down. That would kind of get us right in the ballpark of the lows, the overnight lows here. So let's have a look. Nothing you can do here anyway. Did you watch Liverpool? Did I watch Liverpool? You on about Liverpool, the football club? I don't like football anymore. I used to watch football, but I had a bad experience with it once and it just put me off. I'm a cricket man now, I am. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was coming out of where I live, but it's got to be 10 years ago now. And there was a local game on, and there was a load of fans walking down the road, and they were throwing stuff, fighting, arguing, shouting, screaming. And there was a woman, a young woman with a young kid, must have been about 4 or 6 or something like that. Absolutely looked scared to death, and they didn't tone it down, and something just got in my head. And I just went off it. You know, you see some of the fighting and the way the fans behave, they've just kind of spoilt it for me. So I haven't watched. I haven't watched football for a long time now. I know the Euros are on at the moment. I'm just not interested. Just lost all interest. I think I got into cricket around about 2005, kind of 20 years ago. It's a much better game, I think. The last cricket match I went to was 2 years ago. It was the Ashes at Edgbaston. In fact, England are playing India there now. There was 25,000 people there. I did not see one policeman. Loads of steward, no policeman. You can sit there, drink beer all day in plastic cups, put your feet up and enjoy yourself. You can't do that at football. It's a different game. There's police everywhere. It costs a fortune to police these games, and I just don't know. Just put me off. So I much enjoy cricket. Not only that, if you lose in cricket, you lose slowly, and you kind of know it's going to happen. Trouble is with football, because it's so much more of an emotional game. There's ups and downs. It kind of creates, sometimes it can create an atmosphere. So no, just put me off it. But yeah, I know England are playing India at the moment in Edgbaston. So what's going to happen here? We've got a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high possibly. I'm looking for a triple test. I consider all this move as one single test. So leg, it depends. There may be kind of 2 pushes. I'll have to see how it finishes. But it looks like a channel with a break. Channel, break, new high. I like the way we've pushed above any possible liquidity. The next bit of liquidity is up here, so there's no reason for this to get pushed higher if it goes that way. It's very tempting to short that, depending on how. I don't think it's going to get down enough. No, it's not. I haven't been to a football match for years. See what happens here. I mean, this thing doesn't want to stop. If we can get like a failed breakout down here, breakout to clear out this, well, this liquidity, and then a bullish bar here. I may have a go, but it's just going a little bit sideways at the moment, so there's nothing you can do here. You do nothing, that rockets up. You decide to get in there, it'll trigger you and stop you out. Speedy, how you doing, pal? Okay, so what looks like a break of that channel, cleared out any possible liquidity there. See what happens here. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Just finished work, have you? Yeah. You know, I actually don't mind that. Fits really nice at the top. Does seem like a strong trend, yeah. That would be a break from this channel, and I don't think it's right. So I've got two different versions. Some think it's like that. Tough one. Go to the moon, you think so? I'd like to see something like that. Whether it'll happen or not, a different matter. Yeah, there's a couple of different people with this and a couple of different people with it, how I used to it, how I previously had it. So I'm not sure, really. Thomas Wade's got it slightly different, and he's got a small break here. I'm not so sure whether that's right. If we have it like this, there's a small break there, or is there? It's hard to say. I wouldn't expect a little break like that to push straight up. It just doesn't happen with such a big move. So my gut feeling is that it's probably like this. Even Mac mentions sometimes it fits better at the highs to give you a better reading of where you think it is at the bottoms. And I actually don't mind that. Either or. I don't know is the answer. Simple. At least we get a reasonable amount of price action anyway. It could be just stuck doing nothing. At least it's going somewhere, which is always better. Trouble is, sometimes I know when I first started trading, learning to trade currency, we would look, amongst the various different currency pairs and try and find a trend. Weak currency against a strong currency, and you got a trend. My experience is I make less money in trending markets with this strategy than I do in range markets. Trouble is, when you're ranging and you're bouncing off the bottom 5 or 6 times in a day and vice versa at the tops, you've always got the option to take a trade or to take a lower high or a failure. Whereas this, it'll come down here. It hasn't really even confirmed this channel. So you could wait for it to not come anywhere near this all day. Just sometimes it'll come out the EMA and just take off. It did it there, took off, did it there, took off. Just same here and took off. No entry. At least with a range day. I used to hate range days. I still don't like buying off the top, but I feel much safer taking the lower highs and the failures. But there does seem to be more trade options when it is ranging. I was looking at this. We got a channel with a break and a new high, 2 clear legs up. There was a bar which I think was considered good enough, but I much prefer to go with a lower high. So we've got a channel down here. I don't know whether that's maybe it's a bunch of attempts to push up and it's going to come down, but who knows? It is frustrating when it just comes back, takes off. Did the same there, did the same there, did the same there. I think that's the kind of the strategy that Nutty uses. He's just a pullback trader, I think. And just kind of buy at the EMA if you'd have bought there. Well, it didn't quite get to the EMA. There it did, there it did. And we did there. We had a strong push up. So if you'd have just bought off the EMA or just above the EMA, there, a lot of these trades would have just worked. You're invited at our wedding. I did get invited to a wedding in the US actually a while back. Trouble is, it's nearly 4,000 miles. It's a fair old trip, isn't it, for a wedding? I haven't been to a wedding for, I'll tell a lie, I went to a wedding about 4 years ago. It was the last one I went. My brother's. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. I used to do discos for weddings years ago. I had a mobile disco for years, and I used to work in some nightclubs, local nightclubs as well. Fridays and Saturday nights for about 5 or 6 years. I just got sick to the back teeth of it in the end. Yeah, I mean, if it's a good enough setup, I mean, if we have 2 nice legs down, I mean, we come back to the EMA, big move up, come back to the EMA, plenty of move up. So with a decent setup, I'm quite happy going for those points. What I will say is most really good setups just move anyway, because if they're a really solid setup, a lot of traders will take them. And obviously that'll give it some momentum. So if it's a strong enough move, I don't pay too much attention to the ATR. The ATR for me is more of a guide whether I go for 1 contract or 2 contracts. I don't tend to bother with it so much, because a good solid trade, if we have 2 really strong legs down and a nice strong bar off the EMA, off the key entry point, they often just take off. So as long as you're taking good quality setups, you'll get it 19 times out of 20 easily. So, and not only that, we don't see a huge amount of good setups nowadays. So when I see one, I want to try and capitalize. That way I can, hold back and only take, the best trades, but and it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people still go for a point. In fact, Mac posted a video yesterday of one of his students who went for 6 ticks. Me personally, I think 6 ticks is a starting place. I'm not telling. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but we had this conversation. We do now and again. It doesn't work for me. So what are we doing here? We just seem to be chopping sideways, really. We want some kind of a move down, don't we? Sometimes it just keeps... The trouble is, you never know. Like sometimes Mac will go, we'll have a trend like that, and he'll go, in these strong trend days, you can just buy every time it comes back to the EMA. But it's easy to say that when you look at a chart and it's gone up 150 points all day long. But when it's happening piece by piece, you don't consider it a very strong day until the kind of day's over with. You never quite know whether this is going to turn into a strong trend, and you can buy here for it to take off. And same here as well. I mean, if this market ends up going another 80 points, you could say back to the EMA, yeah, you buy, but in real time, before it happens, you can't make that decision. So I considered a short here, channel break, new high. Looks like a channel coming down, but I left it and opted to wait for the lower high. But it clearly worked. I'm just going for 10 ticks on here. That kind of looking 2 legs usually yields really well. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things, isn't it? If this is channel down, it's broken up a bit higher than I would have expected to, so I decided to wait for the lower high, which sometimes, if it's a good enough setup, it just don't get it. Neil, how you doing? Sis, all the time, but how long did it take you to gain profitability once you settled into? Only till recently, really, mate. I have made money, but I only really started to make it regular the beginning of this year. What I used to do, I used to have a couple of months of making money, then I'd blow an account and I'd go through a month or two of rocky stuff. But I think the end of the year did it for me. I just decided that I just can't treat trading like this. It's really, it feels impossible to do that. But my experience is, with talking to traders, reading and trading myself, it's a journey. It's a kind of a trip that, you kind of have to take. People don't all of a sudden go out and buy a load of mountaineering equipment and climb Everest. It doesn't work that way. You spend years, doing little bits of this, little bits of that, and working, that experience level up to go for these bigger kind of targets. And it's the same with trading, really. There's that much emotions involved. You've got to do it for a long enough period of time so those emotions start to feel a normal everyday occurrence. If this is your job you're going to do for the rest of your life, you're never going to have the same emotions that you do when you're in your first 6 months a year. So you've kind of got to go through those ups and downs. So yeah, really this year I think I earned money January, February, March, April and May. June I didn't, but I had a hiccup. I'd had a bit of rough time. I'd taken a few bad trades and I kind of felt I was running out of luck, so to speak. And I knew, I just felt I was overdue for a bit of a tilt session, and I ended up taking a risk, moved me stop, and that was it. I ended up blowing accounts. Now I've got 10 back now and I'm slowly building them up. But you learn after a while. I've said a million times, you bang your head against the wall enough times, you realise you can't do it. It hurts. But it is ups and downs, and you do ask yourself the question during your time, am I ever going to be able to do this? You know, I'm 55 now. I've done a lot of, or 56 actually. I've done a lot of jobs in my time. I've learned a lot of things. And this is by far the hardest because there's so much in the way of failing when you're learning. And you ask yourself the question, I've failed so many times. Actually, am I going to be able to do this? Can this be done? And the good thing about being a streamer is you do chat with lots of people and you do get people message you. And the resounding answer is if you continue to stick at it and keep trying, you can't help but get better. But people underestimate how long it takes to learn. You know, they go on about there's a 95% failure rate. I don't think for a second that failure rate is because people aren't capable. I think because they just give it a go and they realise this is way harder than I thought. They lose a bit of money and they walk away from it. You know, not everybody can sit here day by day and go through that punishment session until you get to the stage where you're starting to kind of learn. Yeah, conscious decision. I just got sick of just doing the same thing and throwing money at it. And something just changed and I just decided to play the game. And it did take a little longer to my accounts to start to grow. But once I got them up, I think most of my accounts, certainly 9 of them, I had 6 months worth of payments. So I got money every month. So once you get so much in there, the difficult thing is with prop firms is you start off on 0. Now, if you were to fund your own, which I wouldn't suggest unless you've been doing this a while, if you were to put $10,000 in your own account, if you've been doing this a long time, you've actually got money and you can start making money from day one. So you've got something to protect. But when you get your first PA account and you look at your balance and it says 0, because you've got nothing to lose, technically, it's very hard to take a risk and to try and get a bit greedy and try and grow things a bit quicker. And that's where people tend to stumble. And I used to myself. Now I've resided to the fact that it just takes that bit of time to get up there. But if you fight the market and try and get greedy, you'll get away with it a few times and all of a sudden it'll just turn around and chew you up and spit you out and you end up starting from scratch. And once you've blown account after account, you do get to the point where you just give up doing it the stupid way, and you just start to slow things down. Takes a bit longer, but then you do start to see your account starting to grow, and you're thinking, if I'd have done this 2 years ago, I'd have saved myself a hell of a lot of money and a lot of frustration. But you've kind of got to go through that. You know, that experience level of learning. We all learn, life's kind of back to front, really. By the time you've learned everything you need to, you're dead. So, you think, really, if you're born with all the knowledge and experience, you could get much more out of life, but it kind of doesn't work that way. But you do learn after a while. Once you've done something stupid so many times, your brain just starts to go, this just isn't working. But my answer is, if you just stick at it, you can make your journey a lot less painful by being very careful how you spend money. Throwing money at it isn't the answer. I thought it was. I thought I could bully the market, and if I take enough risks, sooner or later I'll start to make money. And you do, but you don't make anywhere near what you lose. You can't gamble your way to luck with this. Markets are way too clever. These algorithms that run this I've heard who designed by very clever people, and they're just you can't get lucky. The only way to get lucky is to have a go at a casino or something. You're going to make way more money at a casino than this. But when you've got nothing to lose and you start off with a very cheap prop account, when you're not risking much, the tendency is to be a little bit more careless with it. If you paid $1,000 for an evaluation, you wouldn't treat it the same as if you paid $30, I assure you. And sometimes cheap isn't always better. The cheaper something is, the less care you take with it. We're in a throwaway society. I wonder if we're going to have Like I know where I live in Shrewsbury in the UK, there's some beautiful old, what's they call them, antique shops. There's some great stuff in there. I do wonder if we're going to have antiques in 100 years, because we're in a throwaway society. Everything's built quickly and cheaply, and it's designed to last a few years and then get thrown in the skip. So, you know, if something has value and you pay a lot of money for it, you take way more care for it. So I think a lot of the cheap prop firms they do kind of get you into a risk-taking attitude towards the markets, and it never works. But you've got to kind of go through it to realise that. Some people learn a bit quicker. I was a bit stubborn and a bit pig-headed, and I thought I'm going to do it my way. And it just didn't work. But, you know, you will save yourself a lot of frustration and a lot of money. You must be careful with your money when you're learning to trade. Never, ever, ever put any money of your own into an account. Buy a cheaper valuation for $30. Practice getting those emotions flowing and learning to control them with a cheaper valuation. Not your own money, because you'll get crucified, I promise you. And only ever have one evaluation at a time until and don't. What I did, the first couple of evaluations I got, I tried to get lucky to get to a PA account, because if I thought I get a PA account, I've made it as a trader. You haven't. Just means you're in the next level where you're going to lose bigger chunks of money. So don't even think about trying to get it to a PA account. Let it happen organically, because if you take a risk, yeah, you'll get there. You'll blow a few and you'll get lucky. Then you'll pay $140 and I guarantee you'll blow it. So all you're going to do is throw more hard-earned money to waste. So, you know, take your time. Let it happen organically. It's the best way and the only way to do it. I assure you, you never get lucky in this business. Once or twice you will, but you won't make money with luck in this business. Put my money. Yeah, I have as well. I put about £5,000, £4,000 to £5,000 when I was traded a month. I gave up my job after a month. Put £5,000 in, or £3,000. I can't remember. About 4, I think. And ended up losing it in a few weeks. I'm surprised it lasted that long, to be honest with you. So, no. You put $2,500 of your own money, you're risking $2,500. If you get an evaluation and a PA account, total of $175, you've still got $2,500 to play with. It's only cost you 1/10 of that. So don't use your own money unless you're experienced and you can make money using someone else's. So let's have a look at this. We do seem to be ranging here. That is a triple test. Very tempting to take that. Channel. I'm
Order
very
submitted.
tempted to take that.
Order filled.
How much is the risk? It's not too bad. $200 risk, $100 profit. 1, 2, 3. It is a triple test. It does look like we're ranging. So I'm going to have a go at that. There's a bit of an overshoot, a pullback, and 2 pushes. So why am I only seeing one account up here? Why am I only seeing one account? My trade copier isn't trading for some reason. What account is this? 99. Oh, I haven't set my CL chart up. I haven't set my CL chart up. You prat. Silly boy, Lancy.
Target filled.
Okay, quick $100 on one account. I could have had $1,000 there, you plonker. I've got my flow bots here. I've got that set. I haven't set the CL. You prat. Oh dear. I just chucked away $900 there I could have had on top of that. Let's have a look. 99. Oh well. I usually check.
Order submitted.
Yeah, there are them.
Order
I forgot
cancelled.
when you're trading on Replicanter, you have to have a second one for you. You have to have these for different charts. I thought if I just use the right account, it'd work. No, it didn't. So that's a shame. I got a quick $100 on that one account. Oh well. It is what it is. I like that channel there. Bit of an overshoot with a pullback and a new low. We've broken below those and we got a bullish bar. It looks like it's ranging, so I think that's likely to push up there. So I got 10 ticks off that. Uh, 2.5 points. Never mind. See if we get a higher low. It's just nothing you can do. Yeah, you can't. There's nowhere to get in anywhere here, really. Well, I suppose some may argue that there's a little bit of a range there with a little bell breakout. Yeah, I use the same leader account 99. I got 99 on the CL chart and 99 on the ES chart. So I trade both for the same. So we got 99 there and 99 there. So let me just double check they're both open. So
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 contracts there.
Order cancelled.
10 accounts, 1 contract.
Order submitted.
Yeah, 1 contract.
Order
I'm just going
cancelled.
for 1 contract on the CL chart. I don't trade it as much, but we got a bounce, and another bounce. I like the fact we got a tight channel there with an overshoot, a little bit of a pullback and a new low, big strong bullish bar up there. So I'd be quietly confident that was going to reach that AMA at least. We've got a channel down there with a couple of legs up and a new low as well. New low of the day. Looks like it's ranging. We got a move up. 1, 2. This is very much a penguin style
Connection
trade. This
lost.
is. So we got a move up like this. And we've got two attempts to go lower. Quite a strong move up. So leg up, 2 attempts to go lower. If that pushes strong above that EMA, he would take a lot of those. He may take that there, but I'm guessing he will probably do that. I mean, it's a massive risk. I'd only do it on micros anyway if I was going to do that. But I mean, it is moving up quite strong, so I'd say there's a fair chance it's going to continue up. Connection lost. On you or on me? I'm okay at the moment. Everything seems to be connected. Seems to be working okay. So sometimes it'll happen for a second. But can I connect? I've just got to be a little bit careful here because Rhythmic is not opening for some reason. No, it's not opening. Yeah, I think on the odd occasion it will just for a second. As long as price is moving, I'm still connected. As long as I've still got this green connection, I'm okay. The only thing I haven't got is the Rhythmic window open so I can see when trades are completed. But what I have got, if I have any issues, is I've got Rhythmic there on my app, so I can close down trades from my app if there need be. If I put my volume, let me just try my volume. Does everything sound normal, does it? If I try I don't ever have my volume on. I thought I had to have it off. Can you guys hear me okay or not? You can. I'll tell you what, let me just put something on YouTube and see if I can get something playing.
The June jobs report is a key piece of data that could have an impact on the Fed's next move. It comes amid renewed pressure from President Trump on Fed Chair Jay Powell to cut rates.
Yeah,
Last
I can't
night he
hear
said
nothing
Powell
on
should
YouTube.
be fired. Let's bring in former Dallas Fed President Richard Fisher.
So
He's
I
now senior
think
advisor
if we
with Jefferies
get,
and a
I'll tell you
CNBC
what,
contributor.
let's
Also
just
with
shut that down a minute. Let me just test this news thing. I haven't got it on. Let me just test this news alert thing. See if I can hear this news alert. Alarms. Test alarm. No, I can't hear anything, so it's no good to me. Because I've got my microphone on, so as soon as I switch my mic off,
Order submitted. Order canceled. Order submitted. Order canceled.
let me just let's put YouTube on a minute. Play something.
with us, CNBC senior economics reporter Steve Leisman. It is great to see both of you. Richard, it's great to see you again. We just had a conversation about, the time when President Trump called Jay Powell a stupid mule, which is just a few days ago, actually. But here we are now. And I'm wondering,
Usually
if you think of Powell as having any sort of leverage in this conversation, in that he could give up, step down, obviously, when his term as Fed chair is up, but stay on as a governor.
Well, that'd be a tough decision to make, but he could do that. Again, I want to remind, we talked about this, Melissa, you and I, before. There's sort of a Fed derangement syndrome, and it's not unique to Donald Trump. Again, Lyndon Johnson took Bill Martin, who had been chair from 1951 to 1970. He took him to the ranch and physically beat him up. Like, our boys are dying in Vietnam. You're not accommodating us on monetary policy.
It goes off.
And Martin went to his deathbed. He wrote in his memoirs, he went to his deathbed ashamed of himself. No one's going to do that. And then
if I switch the, I can't hear this. You can. So if I switch the mic off now.
So this isn't unique to Donald Trump. The expressions are unique. Jay Powell knows this. I don't think it has any impact on him at all. It would.
Perhaps I can't. That must be something I could do in OBS. There is a higher low here. Let's see how this higher low forms.
Order submitted.
It's a bit of a stem. I don't like it.
Order canceled.
Okay, let's see if we get a little bit of a drop here. Yeah, so some. No. Okay, so there is a higher low there. It's just, I'm just not a massive fan of it. It doesn't seem to be pushing up super strong. Does look like a move up with 2 attempts to go lower. Maybe we get a failure. Yeah, it doesn't make much difference to me, to be fair. I think it's 1 o'clock or 12:30 UK, which is about 5:30 UK time. Is it 12:30 or 1 o'clock? Let's say 12:30. So it'd be 5:30 UK time. So about another hour and 40 minutes thereabouts. So have we got something like that? If we got a failed break out of this, that kind of would fall in line. Maybe there's a spike in a channel there. Let's flick Bart on. Switch his volume off. What's he got? Yeah, he's got that bigger channel as well. There is a bounce there. You may call that a triple test. There's just no room to the highs. My concern as well is if there's a spike in channel, there's some vacant area here. If this is a big move up, same again, vacant area. And we are going a little bit sideways, so you don't know where it's going to trigger and drop out the bottom. Or at least come down for maybe a triple test. It's hard to say at the moment. That's interesting. Would I want to go short there? Not really. Hey Kenny, how you doing, pal? Think you're done for the day, are you? I'd like to see this bar trigger here and push up. Okay. There's a possible failure there. I wouldn't take that bar myself. I'm thinking that may push up. It's hard to say, really. It doesn't look like it, does it? Certainly is, mate. Yeah, surprised me. I was expecting a big pullback. You're not enjoying them? No, I'm not a fan either. Trouble is, you never know when they're going to just decide to pull back. I just, the more these things go up, I think the natural instinct is to think it's got to pull back at some point. It'll do this, and as soon as you decide to go into it, that's when it'll do this. But then some days it just continues on up. It's really hard sometimes, isn't it? It's that fear in trading, really. They say fear of loss or fear of this. Fear of losing the money. It's nothing more, nothing less. I just don't want to give the money back. maybe a channel there. That actually doesn't look that bad. It's fitting really nice to that midline, so we may have gone up there. Let me have a look. I don't know, there could be some. Let me just get that out of the way a minute. It's hard to know, really, isn't it? Does seem like a big move up with a break, and then we do seem to be going in here, so I don't like. I don't know. There may be something larger up. I think it's kind of irrelevant at the moment. We do seem to be working in here, so whether we originally had just that, let me just put it like that. I think that might be a better option. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, maybe. But it does seem like we're wiggling off in this kind of different direction. So we've got channel the break, a new high, push below the EMA. It's maybe just a retest of this area, but the trouble is there is always that possibility it could come down a bit more. I don't think it will. This to me looks like a move up with a correction. But until we get and hold above there, you've got to kind of put longs on hold, I think, just in case it does decide to come lower. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, I mean, you'd think there's, mind you, it went up quite steep, and now we're kind of less of an angle, which is, at the moment, it seems to be sustaining that. The ATR is quite low, so the bars are quite small, and they do seem that very small, slow grind up, push up, sideways, push up, sideways, push up. So who knows? It may come back to what it is when it's not very wide, and these pullbacks are kind of. You can see that there's like two legs there, but at the time you don't necessarily know you've got this, so it's hard to take that, I think, because this looks like a small break. So the trouble is, as these channels develop, it becomes a lot easier to work out the price action. That's why marking up a chart that's already happened is so much easier, because you can spot trades that you can't trade in, that you can't spot in real time. You know, if I could see that was going to go up 2 legs back, I'd have taken that one. But you don't know until it starts to develop, and that's the tough part of trading, really. So at least the chart's moving, so I wouldn't consider this boring. At least it's moving. It may slow down at some point. So it's 4 o'clock UK, 11 o'clock Eastern time. So there's about an hour and a half to 2 hours of price left, thereabouts. Hour, 30 minutes-ish, something like that. So we'll see. As long as we're getting some movement, I'll hang around. It's just a shame I didn't have my bars set, because I'd have been up $1,000 on my 10 accounts there. That would have set me up for the weekend. Can you do? So this to me looks like a correction of some sort, or 2 legs. We got the move up, we got the correction. I'm expecting another possible leg up, but until we get that strong push above that EMA and hold, I can't really. Thinking about taking longs just in case we end up getting something a little bit more shallow coming down. Let's put that there, I think, for now. I can live with that. Hate it when it does that. Okay, so touch. It's not too bad. Yeah, it does take time. Does take time. That's why. I mean, I still look at what other people are doing. So you guys can look at my chart and then obviously compare it to your own, and that'll give you kind of a better process. I didn't have that luxury. That's why I like looking at Thomas's. Thomas has got the same thing as me. Dan doesn't post his chart as much. I don't think he's actually put a chart on as yet. No, that was yesterday. So, yeah. So, yeah. Do you know what? It's very easy to be, if you're impatient, if you're very impatient and you're desperate to get into a trade, you haven't got the patience to wait for price to get down here. So your natural instinct is price is right at the top, it's going to come down. But what it often does, it doesn't come down, it goes sideways, which doesn't really do you any favours. Same here, if you decide to short this, it hardly comes down before it takes off. So I find when I've been on tilt in the past, in other words, I haven't got the patience to wait, I've shorted this to try and get down. It's kind of natural instinct when we reach the top of something to expect it to come down. But, you know, we've all read 1,000 times, if never fight the markets. And that's what it takes you a long time to realise that. But, you know, when I'm patient, I buy from the bottoms. When I'm on tilt and stuff's gone wrong, I sell from the tops because I haven't got the patience to wait for it to come down. So a lot of people do that. You know, some people have a strategy where they try and pick tops. I mean, if you can get it right, you could potentially make a huge move. But the chance of it's like in cryptocurrency, the chance of, you know, selling your Bitcoin the second it hits the top is you know, you're pissing in the wind, really. You know, it's like pin the tail on the donkey type thing. You can't see sod all until kind of happens. You know, you can have a rough idea, you can have a certain scenario or strategy to tell you roughly. You know, we know how legs work. Often when you get two legs, we have some kind of a pullback. And we kind of did there. We had two legs up there. Somewhere around about there, depending on how you look at it, we had a bit of a pullback and it just continued on. So the simple thing is just not to fight the direction. If the market's going up, you've only really got to look for buys, really. Not only that, even portrait, I wouldn't consider that a good trade. It's not off the key entry point. It's got a bit of a wick, but it worked. Would you want to take a higher low there right into the top? Absolutely not, but it worked. So even crap trades, if you take them in the direction of the market, often they'll just work. So, yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But you do learn. It's like anything, isn't it? It's like being a kid, really, as a trader. It's like learning to be a kid again. You've got to fall over on your face half a dozen times and stick your fingers in the fire before you realise you can't do stuff like that. Let's have a look at how's everybody else doing. How's Alpine doing? Okay, he's up okay, actually. At least he's bouncing back a bit quicker. He got crucified 2 days in a row, and he seemed to handle it really well. Well, so Nut is not. But, oh, he's finished. What's it's finished? Bye money. How the hell he's made that money? I got no idea. Although he's down a bit today. Oh, crikey, he's down $5,000 today. $4,500. He's still up though. I don't know how the hell he's managed to get over between $8,000 and $12,000 in profits on top of a 150 account. I don't know how he's done that. Good luck to him though. Tanya trades. She's finished now. Yeah, absolutely. So let's have a look at this. So, well, kind of a lot of little double bounce here. You can't take nothing here at the moment. I didn't expect that. From that there, it might be a couple of bounces. You've got to wait for it to get above the EMA to take a trade, in my opinion here, because price is generally still below that EMA, although I thought that was quite a strong position, and who knows, it may be. Does look like, you know, this often works. This does move up with a couple of attempts or a correction, but I'm still new to this chart, so I'm just kind of getting used to it. But I'll be surprised if it breaks below there. I'd like to see a bounce here, but the way this is continued down, I wasn't expecting. So I'm really surprised this is pushed up so much. I would have said all-time highs were, I think, they were about 6 or 7 points off there. So I'm guessing there somewhere. So I mean, we're up 30 odd points, 36, 37 points from all-time highs, which is quite a strong move, really, I suppose. We pushed above it, maybe had a couple of bounces, and then it just slowly took off. Trouble is, we got nothing to bounce off now, really, have we? There's no kind of support resistance up here because we're into virgin territory. Let's have two legs down, really, don't we? Thing is, Bye Bye Money needs to really be careful now. If he's clever, he's got a fair old chunk of money there. I don't know how he's managed to get that well, yo-yo and whatever, but he's got between $8,000 and $12,000 over 20 accounts. I mean, what's that? There's $200,000 of profits there. See, he really needs to be careful with this now. If I was him, I'd be trading one contract and just going for small moves. The thing is, if he plays that right, he could take money every month out of that. He's got a massive cushion in there, at least 8,000 between 8 and 12. Even with 8,000, scalping a couple of points. What's that? Risking 258,000, 800 is 10%, 80 is 1%. You can risk 3% maximum with two contracts there, and That's what I'd be doing there. It takes a long time to get up there. He's got it. However he's got it, I don't know. But now he's got it. You need to be super careful that if he's clever now, he will dial them trades back down and keep it to 3, 4, 5 trades a week or something like that. Unfortunately, he's down 4,500. You can tell they're PA accounts because they stop at 150,100. So he needs to really protect that. There's over $200,000 of profit there. You can't continue to trade that the way he's done it. He really needs to hold on to that. He could get potential payout every month with plenty of a safety cushion there. Okay, that's interesting. 2 legs back there. Let's have a look here, see if we get an order here.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Okay, I'm in 200 risk. It is 2 legs down. It's off the key entry point. I don't know if I'd ride it right up, but it does seem to be a strong market, so what can you do? It's just as soon as I get into a trade on this, something happens and I just get nervous. I don't know what it is. Clearly 2 legs down, a little bit of a... See what I mean? Off the key entry point, and this is going to fail. Why? It's working nice up there. It's dropped below, pushed up strong. Yeah. It should work, that. It's clearly a second entry long, you know, even a little fell breakout. I don't know. There's a few in it anyway, so we'll see that. But the fact that it's done that straight away has made me just nervous. But it's a breakout type thing. Well, price action's extremely accurate. I'm getting out of here. I just don't... what do I do? What do I do? Let's go for a couple of points.
Order filled.
It's just, I don't like it. Yeah, I know. It looks okay. It's a little sideways, little down, off the key entry point. It should work. It's not going to, though. We'll see. Something I don't like about it. I just don't like it. It's already below now. I'm in anyway, so let's just leave it. There's a few people in it anyway, but it's just Taylor's in it. It just doesn't look like it's going to work for some reason. And I'm really surprised. Let's give it an extra tick. Sometimes that makes a difference. It'll trigger it out, and that's the type of scenario where it may work. Extra tick, we'll see. All right, it's triggered it out. See what it does now. Sometimes that type of scenario, it will stop it out and then push up. It's an extra $25. I know, yeah. All day going up. Clear 2 legs down. A little bit of sideways. Bullish bar off the key entry point, and look what happens. It triggers you, stops you out. Sometimes that extra tick on this type of scenario will work. So an extra $25, it's worth it just for the sake of it. See if it can save me.
Order filled.
That's so annoying, isn't it? Yeah, quite a few people took it. It's so annoying, that is. Price action is super accurate, but for some reason... I'm not sure what's going on here. Now look at it now, see?
Order submitted.
That's much better, I think. It's a smaller risk. 2 legs down, see if it works. Trouble is, it may clear some of that. May clear some of that liquidity. This looks like it's about to drop.
Order filled.
What is going on here today? Strange 2 legs back, little bullish bar. I don't think I can open another order now, to be honest with you. No, I can't. For some reason, I'm not down as much on my Traderify accounts for some reason. I don't quite know why. Strange. True, but second entries trades like that, it's a good trade-off. I mean, it's been going up all day. The one trade that did look good, it triggered it, and loads of people took it. Even Dan said, if that's a key entry point is correct, the trade looks solid, so why didn't it work? Strange. Loads of people took it. Everyone could see the reversal. Well, I'm looking on here. Taylor took it. Quite a few people took it. Even Dan said, if the key entry point is correct, the trade looks solid. I don't know. Strange. I just find sometimes definitely a second entry, no argument there. You're saying everyone can see the reversal. It's like everyone could see the reversal. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. This looks like it's a trending up to me. I think everyone's got the same. I don't know. I'm done for the day anyway. I can't trade anymore now. It won't let me open. Yeah, I find second entries not as reliable as they used to be. If Mac marked that channel, he'd absolutely 100% mark that as a trade. Strange. I just can't see where it's at a break. It fits nice. You can't see that's a reversal from that bar there. What I will say it is flattening off a bit there, but I don't know. Yeah, looked like a typical trade that Mac could take. I can't take a trade here anyway. On one account, but not the rest. I don't quite know why. Oh no, it won't even do that. So let me just disconnect and reconnect. Usually, good quality setups work. That I think the only thing I can take from that is it started to go a little bit flat. So maybe it needed a little bit of a break, but it did. It had a break and it's at a new high. You know, these markets trending up will have a break at certain times. That, to me, looks like two legs back and then push up for a new high. That doesn't really look like a channel so much to me, more of just a break and a new extreme. Yeah, exactly. Typical, isn't it? The only thing I can bring to the table there is that one a little bit flat. Yeah, quite a few people got caught out of that. You risked it, yeah. Thomas Wade took it. Quite a few people took it. Yeah, loads of people took it. Could be a second entry long if it forms a good bar. Looked okay to me. It was nicely above that EMA. He took it. He took it. Yeah, quite a few took it. Usually, what I would consider really good setups very, very rarely fail. I can't for the life of me think why that didn't. Mac will say price action never lies. I don't know. Yeah, in fact, the key entry point is correct. Trade looks solid. It's unusual for him to say that as well. I very nearly got out of it. Something just didn't feel right, and I couldn't kind of figure out why. But then I thought, small 2 legs down, maybe something slightly different. I took that one. I don't know. It is frustrating, isn't it? Yeah, I know, yeah. It just seems to go up and up and up, and the one time we get in, it triggers us, stops us out. It's infuriating, I got to say. Yeah, but I mean, it's still good to look into reasons why and kind of learn from it. Yeah, I don't mind giving it an extra tick. That's a calculated risk, because sometimes it'll do that. If we had 2 legs down and this moved up, sometimes that extra tick, I don't mind risking extra $25, because if it works, there'll be a difference between losing 200 and making 200, which is a $400 risk. So for the sake of $25, it's the type of time that work. It's the type of things that work. I think 2 legs, but that was it, wasn't it? When I gave it an extra tick, but look, it ended up going up in the end. But I do find second entries not as reliable. You know, that was off the key entry point, worked straight back, pushed below, pushed up, closed on its high. You'd expect it to work. The only thing that I can say is it went a bit flat there, but it did there. Came back to the key entry point, took off, went a bit flat there. Didn't even get back to the key entry point, took off again. No, it's not a case of that. Mac will say, study your charts. If something went wrong, try and figure out, did you do everything you could? What was good about the trades? You know, when you're learning, and it's an ongoing process, it's still good to look at what might have happened. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it. It's fine. I suppose one thing, I don't quite know why I'm only down a little bit on those Traderfy accounts. Strange. Trouble is, we're kind of, I don't know. I think what it did is it picked off some liquidity there. It didn't get below there, but that one it did. Yeah. The thing is, if that worked, Mac had marked that 100%. He would say it was a good trade. Classic second entry long off the key entry point at the EMA, at the thing, you know. But there you go. Why did I re-enter? Because we had 2 legs down and I took that. And that'll happen a lot of times. So that looked like more like 2 legs down, so I got in there. But it is what it is. I mean, you know, trades lose. It's a fact, but I think it's okay to, you know, figure out why or what went wrong or what you may have missed and kind of learn from it if there's something to be learned from it. Yeah, it didn't even go 4-6, did it? I don't think. It was a second entry, though. Same as this, a second entry. So we got a little move down, a push up and move down. It was a second entry long, but it's just one of those things. Yeah, Thomas Wade took it. He thought it was a second entry. What's it took it? Taylor. He took it. Quite a few people took it. Because it's the type of setup that generally works, and especially when you got such a strong move up. No, that was a second entry. That looked to me like 2 legs. leg and a leg, and it just went down a bit further. So from here, yeah, it didn't quite get down there. We had a leg with a break and a leg. Sometimes it'll trap out earlier trades, push down and then push up. That's why I got in there and I just got caught again. But it happens. That's what I was thinking, penguin style. But that, I don't know, it's not quite spread apart enough for penguin style, but it's just come down and bounced off there, isn't it? I thought I might get away with that one. A lot of the time it'll do that, come down, stop you out for a few ticks and end up going in the same direction. But there you go. I can't trade now anyway. Two of my losses for today, so that's not too bad. I'm not down a huge amount. Yeah, I mean, that is a trade that I would 100% expect Mac to take and mark. The only thing I can say about that, why something might have gone wrong, is it went a bit flat there. So maybe it's losing a bit of momentum. It's hard to say. You know, these channels will go up and up and up, and at some point they'll break. But we got a touch, and that confirmed it. That's what Mac will say. It just seemed to work really nice. Everyone else is looking at the same sort of. So it is what it is. Anyway, right, I'm done for the day anyway. I can't trade now anyway, so I will leave you guys to it. So thanks for hooking up with me. I'll be back on Monday. So you guys have a great week. Have a great long weekend. Stay safe, and we'll catch up on Monday. Bye for now.